I call this meeting to order. Welcome to meeting number 38 of the House of Commons Standing Committee on Citizenship and Immigration. The Board of Internal Economy requires that committee adheres to the following health protocols. Maintain a physical distance of at least 2 meters from others. Wear a non-medical mask unless seated, and preferably wear a mask at all times, included when seated. Maintain proper hand hygiene by using the hand sanitizer provided in the committee room and regularly wash your hands well with soap. As the chair, I will enforce these measures and I thank you all for your cooperation. Today's meeting is taking place in a hybrid format pursuant to the House Order of January 25th, 2021. I would also like to outline a few rules to follow. Interpretation services are available for this meeting. You may speak in the official language of your choice. At the bottom of your screen, you may choose to hear floor audio or in English or French. The raise hand feature is on the main toolbar should you wish to speak. A reminder that all comments should be addressed through the chair. When you are not speaking, your microphone should be muted. The committee clerk and I will maintain a speaking list for all the members. Pursuant to Standing Order 1082, and the motion adopted by the committee on Wednesday, May 26, 2021, the committee is resuming its study of the economic imperative and long-term importance for small rural municipalities outside of major cities to retain new immigrants. So today is the last meeting to hear from the witnesses. Today, the witnesses who are appearing before the committee include Colleges and Institutes Canada, being represented by Denise Amiot, President and Chief Executive Officer, Mr. Mark Ferzon, President, Assiniboines Community College, and we are also joined by representatives from Droit LA Employee, Martin Grulix, Executive Director, and Bruno Magnan, Coordinator, Immigration Services. First of all, thank you to our witnesses for appearing before the committee, and thank you for your patience. I know you have been waiting for since 3 o'clock for the meeting to start because of the votes in the House. It was delayed, and today is the House will be adjourned for the summer recess also. Some members have discussed with me in regards to the commitments they have after 5:30. So based on the conversations I had with some of the members, those who reached me today from different parties, I would suggest that we can hear from both our witnesses. They will have 5 minutes each. And after that, we can go into committee business. We will take the testimonies of the witnesses for 5 minutes each. And after that, we go into committee business for an in-camera meeting and give drafting instructions for the letter to the minister, to the analyst, and pass the budget for this study. And thank everyone and adjourn. If that is okay, I will proceed that way. But if members have some other suggestions, I will take that. I see some hand raised. Ms. Kwan.
Thanks very much, Madam Chair. I'm okay with that proposal. I would also just like to point out that on March 8th, at that committee, I had asked the deputy to provide information related to the government's tracking of the application of 179B exemption with dual intent after the government had indicated that they have given special notice around the use of dual intent. And Ms. Tapley had indicated that she would get back to the committee with respect to the changes that they have seen and the tracking of that information. So we still have not received that information for the committee. So I wonder if the committee chair, if you could follow that up with the deputy and get that information and to share it with committee members.
Thank you, Ms. Kwan, for raising that. And I will work with the clerk to be in touch with the ministry of officials to find out if they can send us this information. And as soon as we get this information, it will be circulated to all the members. Thank you, Ms. Kwan. Mr. Dhaliwal.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Madam Chair, before I can propose, I would like to ask you a question. How many total witnesses that will be speaking?
We have two witnesses, so they will be speaking for 5 minutes each.
Sure. Madam Chair, thank you. As MP Kwan has agreed with your proposal, I do agree, but I would suggest that we give witnesses up to 10 minutes, minimum 5, and maximum up to 10 minutes each, just in case because that will give them the time to get their point across, and that is what I would suggest. Other than that, I agree with you and Madam Kwan.
Thank you, Mr. Dhaliwal. Madame Normandin.
Merci beaucoup. Peut-être dans la même.
Thank you very much. In the same line of thinking, I think this is unfortunate because for some of our witnesses, it's the second time they've come before us. They've been very patient. I would have liked to put questions to them. I think it would have been very helpful for the committee work. I do understand time constraints, but I think that giving them a bit more than 5 minutes, given this situation, it would be helpful. If there's anything they wish to add, of course, they can do so in writing.
Thank you, Madame Normandin. Thanks to all the members for their input. There seems to be agreement among all the members about what I proposed, but I am fine if the witnesses need more than 5 minutes. I will not stop them, and you can go ahead and provide the important testimony. Even if after providing the testimony, there is a need you feel to send us some written submission, you can do that also. So with that, I will welcome the witnesses and thank them once again for appearing before the committee today. So we will start with Colleges and Institutes Canada. Ms. Imyot, President and Chief Executive Officer, you can please proceed. Go ahead.
Thank you, Madam Chair. So good afternoon, bonjour. It's a real pleasure to be here with you today to share how colleges support the recruitment and retention of skilled immigrants and help improve labor market outcomes. Colleges play a unique role in the immigration ecosystem. They interact at many key touch points in the immigration journey by attracting international students, supporting the retention of immigrants through partnerships with settlement organizations, and providing skills training on the way to citizenship and beyond through reskilling and upskilling as the labor market evolves. Alors, étant donné que 95%...
Given that 95% of Canadians live within less than 50 kilometers of the campus of one of our colleges or institutes, the role we play is all the more important. Given that our colleges and institutes are close to rural communities, and in these communities, colleges become key partners for municipalities and for employers who develop regional economic development strategies, in particular to attract and retain newcomers. Colleges often develop courses, short courses, and I can get back to that later, which are tailor-made for the specific needs of employers, including microcredit employers, micro certifications, for example.
Currently support the rural and northern immigration pilot and the Atlantic immigration pilot. So my 3 recommendations to you today relate to the rural and regional pilots and the role of international student pathways. First recommendation, as the federal government builds on the rural and regional pilots and considers other immigration strategies with municipalities, it is imperative to increase the recognition and the engagement with colleges to strengthen the recruitment, the labor market integration, and the retention of immigrants. Second recommendation, engage Colleges and Institutes Canada and member institutions in the development and implementations of permanent residency streams for international students graduating from colleges. Third recommendation, equip post-secondary education institutions to provide support to improve labor market outcomes of international students. So I'm tabling today the Colleges and Institutes Canada's policy brief that came out last week on the role of international students in supporting Canada's immigration objectives. A second paper on the role of colleges in Canada's immigration ecosystem will follow in September. So I will now turn it to Marc Frisson, who is the president of College of Assiniboine College in Brandon, Manitoba, with whom I'm sharing my time today. And he is also the board member of Colleges and Institutes Canada. To you, Marc.
Thanks, Denise. I'd like to punctuate Denise's comments about the capacity of institutions can bring to help with rural immigration efforts with three different examples I've been involved in over the past 20 years. And so the first goes back to 2003, 2004, when I had the privilege of being involved in building an immigration strategy for Cape Breton Island. And at that time, one of our members of our association, Cape Breton University, was deliberately starting to increase the number of international students they were recruiting. And that number has grown dramatically over the past several years and now represents more than half the students who attend that institution. As a result, in 2019, the population of the Cape Breton Regional Municipality actually increased for the first time in over 50 years. That's my entire lifetime. The first time they've seen a population increase. And it was directly attributable to the growth in international students at that particular institution. The second one comes from 2006, and I happen to be the president at a college in Swift Current, Saskatchewan. And many small and medium-sized enterprises began recruiting internationally because of labor shortages there. But there was no settlement agency in the southwest part of the province. And so the college itself actually stepped up and founded and then operated the settlement agency for the first few years, incubated it, and then put it out on its own. And I think this helps to illustrate Denise's point about how the distributed nature and the reach of colleges can be used to build community capacity to support immigration. And then finally, here in Brandon, at the college I'm at now, our college has grown from fewer than 30 international students in 2013 to over 600 in 2019-20. And our strategy has been to align with provincial population and labor market goals, as most of the students who come to our institution are keen to eventually become citizens. In just one example, in the agricultural field, where 1 in 5 jobs in Manitoba is expected to go unfilled, we've partnered with food processors to develop a program where international students can come and train, do paid work placements, which help to offset their tuition costs and connect them with linkages with employers. And this program it's now in its third intake and has generated significant interest from the families who already work at many of the food processors in the area. And we know that if you can get folks to come through the program who already have families who live in Brandon, and the likelihood that they're going to settle there for the long term is going to be that much greater. And so this has generated over 150 inquiries from family members about how they could get their family to come through that program. And I should note that, important for the government of Canada is that some of these projects would not have been possible without support for infrastructure and facilities and equipment through folks like regional development agencies. And so thinking about how colleges can be unlocked to help with these goals does require that we think about it broadly in terms of the different vehicles that the government of Canada has to bring to bear on such situations. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Frisson. Thanks for your important testimony. We will now move to Droit à l'Employé, and I will ask Martin Grolix to please start. You can go ahead.
Bonjour tout le monde.
Hello, everyone. It's a real pleasure to be here with you today and to be able to speak to people across Canada as well. Briefly, we would like to present our organization, Droit à l'Emploi. Our specific service for immigrants is one of welcoming newcomers by offering them a chance to set foot in our area, to anchor, we use that term, given that we have a river going through our area of the Montérégie, the second largest area and region of Quebec. It's a very large territory, 2.5 hours to cross it in a car. And there's a great diversity of jobs in all sectors. Our unemployment rate is very low, 5.7%, compared to 9.2% in Montreal, for example. And that's the same rate as the average rate across Canada. Before the pandemic, we really were looking for new employees. So we're in the Montérégie area, but in the town of Saint-Jean-sur-Richelieu, 100,000 population, we are only 30 minutes away from the large city of Montreal. Immigrants are few, only 3.5% of our population in our town. And we are certainly interested in attracting more newcomers, given that we have jobs to fill. So what's of interest to newcomers is that all the services you'd find in a large city can be found in our town. We are in a green region, agricultural. Employment is available. Many seasonal workers come and join us in the summer. And our Droit à l'Emploi organization is charitable. We practice in the field. Our mission is to reduce poverty and social exclusion by offering job entry assistance. We have about 40 employees who are trained in various areas who are able to provide HR assistance, psychological, communication services. And we have special groups of employees working for women, elderly people, and newcomers. We work with over 500 people a year, and our success rate is very high. 80% of the people coming through us go back to a job, get a job, or go back to studies. We count on the collaboration of a number of partners, including a large network of people who offer job, of employers who offer either jobs or practicums. The Ministry of Employment and of Immigration assist us as well. About 15 years ago, we got going receiving newcomers in our territory. Luckily, more and more immigrants are coming to our area. When we opened our doors, the school for adults in our area offered no French classes for adults. Now 4 classes are offered. Last year, we welcomed 400 people from 50 different countries, mostly from Africa and Latin America. To improve their newcomer experience, we work with immigrants and with community members. We are known as a specialized resource in this area and as an active partner. As of 4 years, we are coordinating consultation tables with partners in immigration, 20 partners on these tables representing all sectors. And we are active on 4 grounds, 4 areas: welcoming people, attracting them, retaining them, and integrating them. Let me tell you how we ensure that we retain our newcomers. First, we advise newcomers of the possibility of moving to the regions. Often they don't know about this. And then keeping up a network of employers who are interested in employing them. And then offering language services, language training services for newcomers and their families, and training newcomers in the values of the new society they are joining, working with local actors to help them understand newcomers and their needs, counter prejudices and racism by organizing activities and events that allow for intercultural exchange between the newcomers and also creating housing possibilities and transportation possibilities for them. Now, I will turn the microphone over to my colleague Bruno Magnan, who is the coordinator of Immigration Services. Hello. So my service is basically in three streams. First is one that focuses on regionalization. I'm not sure about other areas, but in Quebec, most people seem to move to the large city of Montreal, whereas more jobs are available in the regions. Regionalization is what we're up to, and the aims we have are to teach people about our city, our town, and offer them training, skills training in areas in which they can find jobs. We try to communicate and tell people about our region at all fairs and communication events. We're there to say what's good about our region, our town, and our businesses. We organize recruitment activities directly with companies. There are employment fairs, small and medium-sized business fairs. Over the last year, we have participated in these activities. For example, we work with a bus service, and employers will come and share about their employment needs. And our second strategic orientation is welcoming and settlement services, basically communicating with housing owners, assisting people for job entry, assisting them in receiving their health care cards, electricity, telecommunication services, assisting them filling out various documents they need to take care of. We just want to make sure that people really do feel supported by those who know how to help them throughout their immigration process. And then our third strategic orientation is more specifically the Job Entry Assistance Program. I've mentioned this already, but we try to link up candidates with specific jobs. We try to make that connection before they arrive, but sometimes, of course, someone whom we've organized will come with a family member, a spouse, and then we'd like to help them as well. We will assist them in reskilling, retraining, getting new diplomas. Immigration is an economic issue, of course, but also a cultural issue in our region. I think that any practice supporting immigration in the regions is worthy of support. We want to ensure that organizations are present and able to welcome newcomers. We also need to prepare our communities to receive newcomers as well. If I may, for businesses, many of them need information about taxes, seasonal workers and tax issues. But many of the seasonal workers come hoping to stay long term. And then businesses can specify they wish to sponsor certain people, invite them to come and move to Canada. That's the sort of thing we help with. Thank you, everyone.
Thanks for providing this testimony. So with that, I thank all our witnesses for appearing before the committee, and sorry once again for starting late. Thanks for your patience. So On behalf of all the members, I want to thank you for your time for appearing before the committee. So with that, I will suspend the meeting for a few minutes, and I will request all the members to log back for the in-camera portion so that we can give the drafting instructions for the letter. So I will suspend the meeting for a few minutes. Thank you. Bye-bye.